What's up? It's your boy Doc Reid out here one more again. Okay, ready to talk about these here relationships. All right, let's get this out the way. All right, you know what time it is. Get the free book. Get your free ebook if you haven't gotten it already. Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, which your father didn't tell you and your mother did not know. Go to my website pronto if you haven't done it. ChristopherReid.org. Also follow me on Instagram. I put up videos every day, every weekday anyway. All right, so ladies, if you have kids, if you have chillins, you're amazing babies, and you have found yourself in a relationship with a guy somehow who does not want kids, you have a problem on your hands. All right, so let's break this thing down. How does something like this happen? All right, I know you're wondering that. Well, listen, say you meet a guy and say that he's amazing in every way. He's a great guy. He is. I mean, I can't lie. He's a great guy. And so he's nice, has a great job, treats you amazing, great conversations. The conversations are they're just wonderful. I mean, you go deep. It's intellectual, it's spiritual. It's all these things, right? But at the end of the day, he don't want no kids. He don't want his. He don't want yours. He don't want no kids. And so what happened is a lot of times the kids are brought into the conversation way too late. It's way too late. Now, trust me, I get it, ladies. Okay. Every time a guy takes you out on a date, you can't be introducing him to your kids. Okay. That just would not be appropriate. But I do believe that you do need to introduce your kids before you introduce him to your kids. Okay. Now you said, Doc, wait a minute. That don't make no sense. Yeah, it does. What I'm saying is you need to bring your children somehow into the conversation, okay, in the beginning, so he understands what this is, okay? Because here's what happens a lot of times, okay? When you're dating, it's wonderful, we're having fun, okay? It's like we don't really think about the serious topics, okay, that we really need to bring up, all right? Because we're having a lot of fun, we high on dopamine, and, you know, life is good right now, okay? But at some time when you come down off of that high, we got to deal with some real situations. And kids is a pretty serious one, all right? So here's what happens when you don't do that. When you don't address this right up front. Typically, you're going to get emotionally attached. Yes. And the longer you stay in this, and the longer you don't have these conversations, okay, that you need to have, then it's going to be very difficult when you start to break it away. All right. Now, I understand that some of y'all like, well, listen, there ain't no problem because, you know, if he don't want me and my kids, but there are some, okay, who have found themselves in somewhat of a pickle. Okay. It has gotten to be a challenge and they get conflicted. Okay. I mean, and I give it to you, you know, it sounds horrible to say. This is a great guy. My kids. I love my kids. He's a great guy. I do anything for my kids. Ain't a lot of men out here. Maybe my kids can go stay with my mama. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know, if the shoe don't fit, don't you even worry about wearing it. But there's somebody out here that's listening to this that has had this dilemma, okay? And so what happens is a lot of times you stay and now you know at this point, I got to keep them apart. Can't bring him around the kids. He don't want kids. He don't like kids like that. I ain't saying anything mean to the kids, but you know that if this ain't his thing, you know, it's not going to work. So you're hoping for change. Somehow, some way things will magically turn around and he'll just all of a sudden want kids. Not just want kids, but he'll want your kids. All right. I'm not saying that it's far-fetched. But at the same time, if you've gone through great lengths to keep your kids out of the picture, understandably so in the beginning, then he's gotten used to this. Okay. So he's gotten very accustomed to kids not being around. If he comes over, you make sure the kids are gone. Okay. Because like I said, you don't want to mix you don't want them to see men coming in and all out of the house. I get all of that. But like I said, it can create a problem. All right. Now, what you have to do at some point I'm not saying it's the first 5 minutes that you're talking to the guy. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, it's necessarily the first day. But at some point, the question needs to be asked. Sir, how do you feel about kids? Do you want kids? You need to go there with it. And you need to listen very carefully to what comes out of his mouth next. Okay? So, if he says, kids, it's like, I don't know. I don't even know if, I really want kids. Red flag. Okay. If he says, nah, I'm not. Yeah. Right now I'm just at a place in my life, kids, it's just not going to fit in. Red flag. Okay. Now, if he says, I don't have any kids, but I met the right person, I'm definitely an option, you know what I'm saying? And let's be a little bit more specific, not just, what do you think about kids? What do you think about a woman who has kids? Is this a situation that, you can see yourself being a part of? Okay. And I understand he just met you, but I mean, come on, a guy knows whether or not he's open to it or not. Okay, it's not that it's far-fetched while you're out here dating that you're going to meet women with kids. So this is a conversation. You ain't got to press so hard. You just trying to, just feel around, kind of get an idea where his head is on the situation. So like I said, listen to those red flags. And if you hear any of the ones that are red flags, okay, now, don't mean that you got to bolt right away. Okay, but if he's him holding, there needs to be some follow-up questions. Okay, he needs to be made painfully aware you have kids. Okay, so if this is going to grow into something, maybe you're just looking out for some grins and giggles and just having a couple of nice nights. Okay, hopefully that's not what you're looking for. All right, but you need to get some clarity on that, because see, one of the biggest things that I find is missing in relationships, period, is clear communication. People talk about a whole lot, but ain't really saying nothing. Okay, ain't talking about stuff that really matters. All right, so like I said, if this guy doesn't want kids, that's an immediate deal breaker. If you get any hint whatsoever that he ain't on it, then you can't be on it. Okay, see, what that does is that prevents you from allowing your emotions to get all stirred up. Okay, and then you got to go through the whole crackhead phase and Jones and and trying to, work deals and move stuff around and, square pegs and round holes. And it's just, no, it's not going to work. Okay, and the quicker that you can, come to grips with that, the better you can move on. Okay, and then you can get what God has for you. All right. And another plus is you don't waste a lot of time. See, you sit up here with this guy and y'all spend all this time together, y'all going on dates and y'all taking trips together and all this, and 6 months maybe goes by, I don't know, and he don't meet your kids, or maybe he kind of comes in contact with your kids, but he kind of, you've kind of gotten him spoiled to the point where you'll ditch your kids for him. So it's never really something that had to come up. Okay. See, we don't want to waste all that time, because guess what? You're not going to get that time back. You're not going to get it back. So let's segue into, why would a woman choose the man over her babies? I mean, it happens. I mean, we can't front like it don't happen. Okay. Like I said, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. And I'm not throwing stones or casting judgment. What I'm trying to figure out is, why is it happening? Okay, why are you even putting yourself in a situation where you feel like you got to choose? All right, because women will send their kids away to live with somebody else, and bottom line, it's fear. It's always fear. Fear takes on different forms: abandonment, rejection. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, okay? Guilt. But it boils down to fear. Somebody said you only have two real emotions, okay, that you're dealing with: fear and love. Everything else is a derivative of those two, all right? And for a woman to consider doing this, there's some deep-seated fear somewhere. And probably it's got something to do with abandonment and rejection. Okay, because, or, that obviously feeds into being alone. All right. And you're like, okay, before this guy came along who was so amazing and whatnot, I spent some pretty, lonely nights. I ain't trying to go back to that. So whatever I can, and I'm not saying that it's always that you thinking about ditching your kids, but you're trying to work a situation that ain't meant to be worked. Okay. And like I said, it's all about you holding on because of the fear of being rejected or abandoned. All right. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Being by yourself, that ain't no curse. Okay. Not loving yourself and not knowing how to love yourself may feel like a curse. All right. And that's just because you don't know how to value, okay, all that you are and all that you have. And I get it. Maybe you weren't taught how to value all that you are, okay, and all that you have. All right. But trying to be with some guy who y'all not even on the same page, how can the two walk together except they agree? There's no agreement here. This is not going to work. So whatever house that y'all try to build, it's going to be divided anyway. It's not going to stand. Okay. So if you find yourself, you listening, like I said, there's no shame. Don't worry about it. Okay. Nobody see you. Okay. Whatever. But if this is something, the situation you find yourself in, you know what I'm saying? Get at me. We can talk about it. All right. Let's have a free consult. Talk about your situation. All right. And then I'll explain how what I do as a coach can help you. Okay. Because you don't want to keep missing, all right, situations, opportunities that are made for you. You don't want them to keep passing you by because you done wasted a whole lot of time on a dead thing, a dead situation that ain't going nowhere. Okay. So listen. That's pretty much what I want to talk to y'all about today. I got this question. I got out on Instagram live last week, and one of my followers had this question. So I was like, you know what? Let me chop it up. Let me talk about it. And I don't really know when I'm going to get out there, so I can't even give y'all like a regular day or time or anything. It's just kind of when I'm just like wanting to just touch and connect with y'all. I used to be on Periscope a lot, but Periscope is just too glitchy. Facebook Live, I don't know. But Instagram, it seems like it's quick. You get out there, chop it up, whatever. So I may play around with it some more. So listen, hopefully this has helped you. Hey, if you got questions, if things you want to know, you want me to chop it up about, get at me. Let me know. Like I said, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can send me an email. Doesn't matter. I want to talk about what you want to hear about. I want to give you all the details about men. Okay. I want to give you all the tricks and to the trade. I want to, pull back the curtain, let you see everything so there are no surprises. All right. More importantly, though, I want to help you to discover you. Okay. Before it's about men, before it's about dating, any of that, first you have to fall in love with you. I'm very excited to have my group coaching, the your boo to I do group coaching. I got a great, group of ladies that I'm working with right now. So if you are interested in being considered for future sessions for the your boo to I do group coaching, get at me. I got a waiting list right now. Just give you a brief summary of what it's about. First month is all about you getting rid of that baggage that you've been dealing with for years. All right. Then the second month is about your boo. We're talking about men. Okay. What your father didn't tell you, your mother didn't know. All the stuff that you didn't know, that you want to know about guys, why we do the crazy things we do. Teach you how to speak that man speak. All right. The third month is I do. That's how you bring it together. You and him coming together, making this situation, this relationship, all right, this marriage, okay, so that you can have the kind of love that lasts a lifetime, that it gets you those 30, those 40, those 50 years. All right. So like I said, if that's something you're interested in, get at me. I'm putting together a waiting list for the next session right now. And obviously, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, get at me about that as well. But listen, I'm out of here. I'm about to bounce. Talk to you later.